come back down from Puffin Island and Penmon Point to the Abbey and the Dovecote. Built about 1600, and it has houses or room for around 1,000 birds. The stone pillar inside the building, and that was provided to support a ladder which gave access to the nests. You can see the steps going up, spiralling round. There's not much to a dovecot, is there, really?
It's just holes, isn't it?
Yeah, I was imagining. I don't know what I was thinking, really. I was thinking more of
Well, I think
a hen coop type thing.
well, when I think of a dovecot, I think of the wooden black and white structures that you see. But you can see the steps here.
Yeah. A day.
I already said that I'm clumsy.
But yeah, I mean, it serves its purpose. You see doves just roosting on the tops of buildings and things.
Yeah, I mean, the name always confuses me as well. Dovecote. I always think of dove. It's for doves, but it's saying here, pigeons could fly in and out through the cupola above the finely corbelled roof. The centre pillar appears to be unique, presumably built to assist a pigeon keeper, though its exact function is uncertain.
Yeah, so provided meat and eggs for the priory, or the abbey. Is it an abbey or a priory?
Penmon Priory, I think.
Priory.
From medieval times, dovecotes have been a privilege restricted to just wealthy landowners. Often conspicuous buildings, their many nests of young pigeons provided a prized source of tender meat. We've eaten pigeon, haven't we?
We have.
Not a lot to it, but it's tasty enough. That's tall, isn't it?
It is. And it's old. 1600, so...
Yeah. 500 years old.
Yeah. I wonder how many eggs have been laid in here over the years. Can't see any left over.
Well, do you wonder whether... There's no sign of nesting, is there? So I wonder whether birds still coming up, because so many people come into it, they don't...
disturb them.
They disturb, so they don't bother. So, come here a minute. Those big ones, they must be bloody big pigeons. Pterodactyls or something.
Turkeys. I don't know what this building.
No, I've not found anything out about this bit. In fact, I didn't know this was here.
Just across the car park is the priory.
This is the church.
It is open. Can go in. This would be a nice one to sleep in.
It would, wouldn't it? My son-in-law, who I've never met, he works with stained glass. I do like stained glass. That's quite a sight, a plaque. The east window of this church was erected in memory of Henry Owen Williams of Ayr Castle and Sarah his wife, by their 5 sons and their wives and 5 daughters and their husbands.
So they had 10 children.
Sorry?
So they had 10 children.
Yes.
5 sons and 5 daughters. And some of the organ pipes are fairly well battered over the years. And the Incorporated Society for Building and Churches. The Incorporated Society for Building and Churches, or of churches, it might be, I don't know, granted £95 towards enlarging this church upon condition that 166 seats be reserved for the use of the poor inhabitants of this parish. So, it seats 166 people.
This is interesting. The Limoges enamel. This is the original, and this is a copy. But it's saying it was found in 1853 close to the old stone altar, about 5 feet below the floor of the present chancel. It was examined by Albert Way, and his account of it is as follows. The relic is a copper plate of the enamelled work of Limoges of the 13th century, of the process of art called champlave, because the field was cleared out and cavities formed to receive the enamel, which was fused into them. The plate was attached either to the bindings of a textus or the book of the Gospels, or fixed by nails to a shrine, usually made of wood and covered by such enamel plates as this, or it may have been attached to a large processional cross of wood, often found encrusted with such ornamental plates. They are evangelistic symbols and such subjects. Enamels of this kind have been brought to England in abundance of late years, but not many have been found which had been in use before the Reformation. So it's saying it's still quite clear, isn't it?
It is.
But I don't know. I'm seeing a jester. It looks like a jester.
Yes. What else do we know about the private?
No, nothing. I didn't read anything about the church. Well, as with a lot of old churches, it looks like it needs some work doing, doesn't it, up on the walls up there?
Yeah. Damp.
This one's quite a modern window.
So is this one.
It's in memory of Donald L. Cameron, who died in 1965.
This is 1984.
We've got another couple of things to see. We've got St Seiriol's well to go and have a look at. Wow.
I don't know whether you can see through there. Oh, no, thank you. Don't know whether can we allow it? See why not? And this is the other part of the church.
I'm not sure whether we're supposed to be in here.
This is the old part, I think, isn't it?
It must be. This priory is dedicated to the memory of Seiriol, an early Celtic saint who devoted his life to the service of Almighty God.
And this is the Penmon cross.
The head of the cross probably belongs to another cross. The ornament consists of varieties of plaits and fret patterns showing Scandinavian influence. Look at the beams.
Yes. And the ornate arch.
I can't read all of this, but it says here lieth the body of Thomas Wilford of Ildinge in the county of Kent, who died 25th of January 1645.
I think that quote starts on that side. Perhaps not. This cross formerly used as a lintel of the window.
I know we're bang on occasionally about modern buildings, but isn't it a shame that when a new church is built, it's characterless? It's not. There's never an ornate church built, really, isn't there, these days?
I mean, look at we went to Coventry Cathedral, and the new one, although it's very impressive, you can't see it lasting 500 years,
No.
600 years or more, and having the same sort of fabric as this.
And the other thing I've noticed in here is, I mean, it's such an old building and the wind's really blowing outside, but Not really feeling a draft.
No.
Until you open this door. I don't think you switch it off, do you?
No. Press once only to illuminate.
Illuminati.
Will time out automatically.
I do like an organ.
It's a battered one, like I said.
Yeah. So this is the main priory. We'll go in this side first. These buildings originally formed the south range of the priory cloister. They date from probably the 13th century, built at the time the old Celtic monastery. Built at the time the old Celtic monastery was reorganised as an Augustinian priory. The refectory dining hall was on the first floor with a cellar below and a dormitory above. The kitchen and warming house at the east end were added in the 16th century. So this is the south range. We're standing in the cellar
Down here
of
is
the priory's south range, which housed domestic arrangements for the Augustinian canons. The cellar was for storage, the canon's dining room or refectory lay above it, and the dormitory above that. The refectory was reached by an outside staircase, and a doorway above you here led out to the cloister. One of the canons would have read aloud as the others ate. A window alcove seat for the reader can be seen in the far corner window behind us.
Well, presumably there.
Yeah. The Augustinians ate simple food. Red meat was forbidden, but the adjacent fish pond would have provided a nutritious source of protein. The building extension to the far right was added in the early 16th century with its fireplaces and latrines. It probably formed private apartments for a senior member of the community. And the prior's house, which adjoined the church, is now a private residence. Such thick walls, aren't they?
Yes. That's stood the test of time, haven't they?
Yeah. We are so lucky, aren't we, in the United Kingdom? We've got such a wide amount of history of all different eras.
Yeah.
The landscape at Penmon has many levels of historic interest. In the 6th century, St Seiriol founded an early Welsh monastery here, which was reorganised in the early 13th century as a priory of the Augustinians, or Black Canons. We're going to go and see St Seiriol's holy well in a few minutes. The well chamber was remodelled in the 18th century, and a fish pond, probably associated with the later Augustinian priory, lies beneath the path to the well. The church that we've just been in was rebuilt around 1140 to 1170, and then the chancel extended in the early 13th century. At the dissolution of the monasteries in 1536, Penmon became the property of the Bulkeley family, who constructed the elegant Dovecote opposite and built an extensive wall to create a deer park. Penmon white limestone was quarried from the land above the priory and shipped from coastal jetties. Much prized for building, it was used at Beaumaris Castle, the wharves at Dublin, and for both bridges across the Menai Strait, which you've seen in a previous video. It was also processed in lime kilns, which are still prominent features on the seashore below. It's windy. I tell you what, that breeze to get up the cassocks, isn't it?
A nice, neat graveyard.
Some recent graves as well.
Yeah. For 2013, 2020. Yeah. The older graveyard up through the gap in the wall. Where's this well then?
It's just around the side of the hut. And here's the fish pond.
Wonder if there's any fish in it now.
Or if they eat them all. So as we're walking towards the well, I can tell you that a spring emerges from a cliff behind the church, and it's a source of water for the monastery.
I wonder it's not bottled and sold.
I bet it's been thought about.
Like only fools and horses.
Yeah. Rodney, you plonker. The well's traditionally associated with St. Seiriol, who lived in the 6th century AD. But the lower part of the well chamber and the nearby oval hut may go back to early Christian times, but the masonry above was rebuilt in the 18th century. As you can see, people do leave things here. There's coins down in the well. Very sheltered. It is.
But imagine, look at the shape of this window here. I bet the draft comes whistling round there.
Yeah. So this was a seating area. I wonder whether they just dangled their feet in. It's very clear water though. I mean, you look down, you can see how clear that is. Are you venerated now?
Yes. It tastes all right.
It's very clear, isn't it?
It is.
And if you sat, ooh, that's a wet patch. You sat here, it's a nice place to sit and just look.
And contemplate.
Yeah.
The water dappling, reflection dappling on the.
Oh, I hadn't seen that before. Look at all the old carving of people have done.
1888.
1900.
To name but a few.
Well, the other 2 years I can actually see clearly. Oh, a lot more though. Not just spray painted on. So that's Penmon. And Penmon Point. And for this video, that's it. So, thanks for watching and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.